Backroom Minister of the World Premier, Mr. Markley, coming at you live and direct. I wanted to do a quick video for people who are still getting emotionally involved in sports. And as we talk about Georgia winning the first national championship in 41 years, 41, of course, we know is the 13th prime number. And when we say something is rigged and already preordained or pre-planned, just like we talked about, the pandemic and everything that they set up, this is a pre-planned thing. So we see Georgia wins first national championship in 41 years. And just real quick, they come back in this historic fashion, beating Alabama 33-18 after 41 years, a 41-year drought. And there's no coincidence that they would beat Alabama because Alabama is Team 13. When we go to our gematria calculator, 41 is the 13th prime number. So, preordained that Georgia, after 41 years, would beat Alabama, Team 13, in a staged and rigged championship. Not only that, if you were paying attention in how we beat Las Vegas last night, which most of us did, smart guys, made a nice little chunk of change off of Las Vegas. Some people made a great deal of money off of Las Vegas. Is we knew that Nick Saban would go 7-3 in college football championships, and of course he went 7-3 against Georgia. And if you go to your calculator, Georgia Bulldogs is 73. So see how they played it? He went 7-3. His third loss came to the Georgia Bulldogs. The Bulldogs, in turn, beat the Alabama team if you go farther with Alabama, you get to 41. Alabama 13. And then I think Crimson Tide is 41. Pull up Crimson Tide here. Crimson Tide. But Alabama is 13. So that's why, though, this pretty much was preordained and pre-planned. So when people don't think that sports is rigged and pre-planned, we just take them back to a little simple stuff that we master. But and then remember they lost SEC title game. Remember the SEC title game this year. And I think it was a 41 in that game. But we had already said more Georgia stuff, not a lot on the SEC title game. All right. But you remember last year? Oh, yeah, here we go. So remember this year, Alabama beats Georgia this year by 41 points, 41-24. So Alabama rolled over Georgia 41-24 in the championship. They come back 41 years later with our other story of 41 years later. Let's go back. Let's keep doing it. The Crimson, back to Georgia, 41 years later. Georgia wins the first national championship in 41 years. They kept throwing the 41 theme at you. So we had two sets of 41s. The 41 points scored by Alabama, 41 years of Georgia's drought. And then, of course, Georgia beating Team 13, which is the 41 prime number. So see how they do it? So we know 41's been in the news a lot. We've seen 41 a couple of times. Remember the fire? Let's go to the Bronx. I think it was in the Bronx. It's 2 fires. All right. So Bronx neighborhood members massive. That was one in 2017. It was one that just took place. That's the one that killed 19. It was one that killed 13 people, and it was recent. And my mom called me and said, well, why so many? Like, Mom, they always do this right before. I think, is it the Philly fire? All right, so it's the Philly fire. So the fire in Philly that they just had, I apologize for that. So Philadelphia fire kills 12, including children. So their marketing is 12. But then they don't know, so their reporting is 12 or 13. They just can't report right. So Philly house fire kills 13, including 7 children. Remember 7, the number of the number of death or the number of the end. Saban gets his 7 title. 13, Team 13 finally gets beat. So Philly house fire kills 13, including 7 children. Okay, so they was throwing that 13 at you, telling you that this was coming. This was going to come. So the 13 was there previous to that. And anytime before a championship, you'll see a sacrifice and fire. We always see this. We always see these type of sacrifices. We know Philadelphia is 26. Philadelphia had a big win yesterday in basketball. And Philadelphia beat the brakes off of somebody in basketball. And if you put Philadelphia and Georgia together yesterday, which I should have did, you would have been rocking and rolling with your bets yesterday. But should have came up anyway. Second half, waited it out. Crushed Las Vegas yesterday with Georgia. If you knew that, that we were waiting on the 41-13 combination. And the 7-3 was the big piece. Saban falling 7-3. So this is how they do it. Staged and rigged sports. I tell people, don't get your panties in the butts. Make some money off of it. Make some lunch money. Make you some grocery money. Smart people put $200 on Georgia in the second half, and now they got about $500-$600 today. So make you a little bit of money off of this. Go buy you some groceries. Hey, if they want to rig sports, let them rig it, but let them rig it for your advantage. Take advantage of the devil. Don't let him beat you. He want to take advantage of you, you take advantage of him. Mr. Moxley, Back Row Ministry. Peace.